All right, so this is our review of Pulp Fiction. I'm just going to start by asking if what everyone thought about the movie, if they liked it or not.
I can go first. I enjoyed the movie a lot, actually. I really liked it. I just feel like, I mean, there wasn't really like a strong plot to it, but I feel like it was like one of the movies that didn't really need a plot. Like it worked without one. So I really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
I liked the movie, but like I agree that there wasn't that much of a plot, and I just kind of left after watching the movie, and I was just like, I don't really get the point, because like it was just like a lot of different events together, and then it was just like that's it. I was like, all right, but I thought it was a good movie though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was boring at all. It was awesome, but then it's just like no point in my opinion.
Wenya,
Yeah. Oh, okay. So for me, I don't think I like it because I felt that there's like too much killings and then just like too many violence.
Yeah.
And also like the pace of the movies is so fast, and I just like I could barely like follow it. And then also like what Matt said, it's like I don't see the point of it. I was like so confused after I watched the whole movie. It's like I don't get it at all.
Right. Yeah, I think it's interesting because like if you look like at the reviews and like stuff about this movie, it's like it's considered like one of the best movies of the 90s, if not like an all-time classic. And it won, I think it won the Oscar for like best screenplay, which I can see. But I definitely think there were certain parts that were like, but I thought it was really good. Like I can definitely see why people wouldn't, but like the whole scene with like the rape scene and stuff like that, I didn't really see the point of that. But other than that, I think I tried to dig around and look for some like what the themes were and like what the point may have been, but I think also a lot of it was like it was very unique for the time, and it was like, you know, it was groundbreaking film and stuff like that, and it was pretty dope in my opinion. But
Yeah. I think that like the point of the film was kind of like how these people, like these criminals pretty much are just average everyday people. I don't know if that was the point of the film, but I feel like that was a big takeaway I had from it. And I feel like all of that is just carried on throughout the dialogue. I feel like that it's one of those films where like the plot doesn't truly matter. It's like what the characters are saying is like what matters. Like the two hitmen like having philosophical discussions about all types of things was like, you know, that was like part of the plot. So
right. Yeah, and I think one of the things I saw was like I don't think I would have caught on to like if this was really the big theme if I didn't look at stuff about it, but like kind of just like how things take like things in life like are left up to chance a lot, and like also the like Bible verse that Jules quotes a couple times is like about like the shepherd and like who's evil, who's good, like whether we make those decisions. And like I think in the end he ends up like realizing that and like walks away from the life, but Vincent like doesn't, and he doesn't really care, and he's the one that ends up dying.
Sure.
So I mean, I'm not sure that was like the entire point. Maybe that was part of it, but I think a lot of it was just like this world was created and there were a lot of, like you said, philosophical conversations that the audience needed to take in. But yeah, I don't know if you all thought there was like a larger theme at all, but
See that?
that actually made up a great point, Henry.
Something else that sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I completely get that, because when you were talking about that, I was thinking about the scene where they were like in the apartment, and the dude comes out and shoots all of his rounds and just misses every single one. And he was like, it should have been dead. And then like he was saying how when he quoted that last verse, or like that Bible verse, that every time he said after he would shoot someone, and then in the diner he quoted it one more time, and then was like, but I'm not going to shoot you today because
Right.
that's not me anymore.
and also right after they like got missed by all the bullets, Vincent accidentally kills the guy in the back of the car. So it's like things are left up to chance. Life is fragile, I guess, but like it's also influenced by the choices we make. I don't know. So that could be considered a thread in the movie. Throw a term in there.
Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
A quick side note that I thought was pretty cool that I didn't realize until like my roommate like pointed out. Like, you know, Jimmy, you know, that's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah,
Like he played.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
I did not know that, but when they pointed out, I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then he
Yeah.
proceeded to say the N-word like 4 times.
I know. So like, and I really love Tarantino's movies, and like he gets a lot of backlash for like using the N-word a lot, even if it's like a historical context or something. But like he's done that in a movie before where he put himself in the movie and said the N-word, and that's like that's questionable to me because like what if you're gonna be in the movie, at least like make yourself a more like morally right character. I don't know, but that was interesting. So
Yeah.
go for it, Wenya.
Oh yeah. I was trying to say is like this movie definitely bring like a lot of humanity to those like criminal, because like it just like give us like a deeper insight of like why these people killing other people, and also like just like give us like another insight of like the other side of their life. Like what gave me a really deep impression is like is Butch, because he was like killing people like in the fights, and then when he like talked to his girlfriend, and he just like turned into like so soft immediately. And then
Yeah, I think that's a part of it because it's like people change because Bruce Willis's character, Butch, was it Butch?
yes,
He like obviously he like screws over Marcellus, who was a gangster anyway, but and then he's on the run, and then he ends up going back and saving Marcellus. So like I don't know, people's ability to change. I guess that was kind of a thread, like a storyline throughout. But some of you said, like there wasn't much of a resolution, maybe until you, like I said, I wouldn't have noticed a lot of it until I looked it up. So, but yeah,
I was gonna pose a question. What do y'all think was the whole purpose of the scene with Vincent and then like her, like his Marcellus's wife just ODing? Like I just didn't get the whole like purpose of that like event and added to the story. I think it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part either. I think it was just like, I mean, because they were like dancing and like she had that cocaine overdose, and like I guess it showed how strong Vincent like cared about his job, but then at the same time, like Vincent ends up dying. So I mean, I don't see what like the purpose of that scene was at all.
yeah, I agree. But like also, I guess going back to like the whole like life is full of like chance and like stuff like that, because I guess throughout that, like I thought the scene before that when they were in the diner was really cool.
Yeah.
And like the dancing was just like kind of a comic relief. The whole thing was a comic relief. But and then like you think maybe Vincent is gonna come in and like, you know, break his loyalty and like have sex with Marcellus's wife, but then she ends up ODing. It's like, I don't know. The whole
I
night.
think actually, now that you bring up, like, I forgot about the dancing. I know that Vincent's character is played by, I can't remember what his name is, but
Yeah, Johnny Travolta.
yeah, I think that was just all commercialized, like the entire dancing scene, because like the whole like shimmy thingy they were doing on the dance floor. I feel like that was entirely like commercialized to get more like, because at that time like older viewers to watch the film, because like middle-aged viewers to watch the film. That's just
and also Tarantino, like I don't know if you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But
I think
that's another one of his movies, and it's like completely set in like the 60s. So he's also like a guy that likes to go back and like dream of an age of like what he sees as like the pinnacle of cinema, which I guess would have been like whatever era that diner was in. But
yeah,
yeah,
50s, 60s. They were sitting in those like nice cars.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm sure Dr. Hammer would be slaughtering us for not knowing, but I guess illusion wise, we mentioned like the Bible verse. That was kind of obvious. I don't know if anyone else noticed any.
Not really. No, I can't think of anything. Top top of my head.
Did you all think that like Vincent's character? I felt like his character. I liked his character a lot, but he didn't arc. But then like Jules's character did arc.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
definitely changed in some way.
yeah.
Any
There's
thoughts
like
on?
there's like a complete side note, but like, do you guys notice the walk? Like they had like Vincent's character and Jules, like they had like this like very distinguished walk. I just don't know if anybody else noticed that. That's just me.
I'm sure everything was like highly stylized on purpose, but um, I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
Something because my roommate, Pulp Fiction was like one of his like favorite movies like ever.
Yeah.
He said he's been like he's watched it so many times. One, he said watching it a second time, it makes a lot more sense. So maybe like we'll get a lot more things out of it if we watch it again.
Yeah.
But something he pointed out about Vincent, Johnny Travolta's character, he especially with like when he was with Marcellus's wife, he didn't really talk very much. I don't know if anyone else noticed that. He just was like, it was like one-liner answers, and it's just, I don't know where I was going with that. But
Yeah, I don't know why that would be. Like a lot of the dialogue I feel like was definitely purposeful to like fill us like make the audience think. But I'm not sure like what purpose that could have served.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either, but like now that you bring it up, you do make a good point because like other than like that opening scene where he's talking about like La Big Mac or whatever, like he didn't really talk too much.
no, he didn't talk much at all. There wasn't much development with him.
Yeah. He was still a good character, like really
Yeah.
cool character. But
Definitely.
so what was was the archetype for this one light versus dark? I think maybe.
Yeah, I think
that's
this one
right.
was light versus dark, and I guess Jules was light, and then Vincent was dark because Vincent was the one that ended up like dying in the end. And
Yeah, and I think like I said, like it plays out. The characters change during the movie too, because in the beginning scene when Jules kills like the three people, he's obviously like the Bible verse says he's not the shepherd at that point. He's like the tyranny of evil or whatever. And then it changes, and Vincent becomes like that guy, and then he ends up dying. But
Well, that's probably why that scene was played twice. I didn't even think about that until now, because it started out and he was the sole focus of the scene, and you couldn't even see Vincent shooting the guy from the back.
yeah,
And then the next scene, it was like backed up. You could see both of them.
yeah. I mean, it's not really like a big social commentary, but I guess it's like makes the audience think and like makes you think about what like project yourself onto the characters a little bit for sure. I don't know. Wenya, did you have any thoughts on that?
Not really.
Okay.
I feel that for me, Winston, I just don't think he's that bad because like what you say, just like not them like the character is not that developed in the movie, so I just felt that he's just like there, and also like in the movie he didn't like kill that many people, except for like the last people in the car, and then he killed it like accidentally, so I just felt that he's just like there.
Yeah. Maybe he's like more there to move the plot along a little bit and be a cool character.
yeah, but at first I kind of felt like Vincent was like he was like the main character at first. I don't know if anybody else thought that. But.
Yeah, I also thought that.
I think the film definitely like switches between main characters because like Butch is the main character for like an entire 45 minutes of the movie, and then like, yeah, I definitely agree with that. All right, so do y'all want to like give your rating? You don't have to like give a rating, but you can just say like how much you liked it or how much you disliked it.
I think I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Honestly,
Okay.
pretty low, but like I enjoyed the movie, but just like my overall like I would say lack of character development for Vincent, and then like kind of how it just like jumped around, like you were saying, it followed Butch for a little while, it followed Vincent for a little while, and then it followed Vincent and Jules, and it was like no clear like there was just no clear point for me. I just didn't really
Yeah.
like walk away from the movie like, oh, this movie meant this, and like there was illusions and this stuff. So
And that may be the point, like, because Pulp Fiction, I think, is like some kind of reference to like old like comics, that like pulp comics were like very violent and like they didn't mean much. They just had a lot of violence and stuff. So maybe that's like the entire point of like it makes the audience think, but also it's just a really well written movie. And like, yeah, I don't know.
do y'all remember what? Because it said Pulp Fiction in the beginning and had a definition. Do y'all remember what that said?
It was something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Do you remember, Neil?
No, I don't remember what it said, but I do remember that. That I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
I figured it was important, but I didn't remember what it said.
I think it was about that, but I can't
Okay.
remember. What were you gonna say, Wenya?
Oh, I remember it says like Moyes like losing some mass or something. It's just like
Yeah.
the definition.
Something like that. Yeah. Actually, one other thing I wanted to mention before we like close out is like one of the biggest things that people always talk about this movie is the fact that they never tell what's in the briefcase.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of interesting.
Showing it.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah. And I always feel like these types of movies that are like classic, like big classics, like I should really like them. And I did like it, but I feel like if I was like around when this came out, I would have like really loved it, like a lot of people do. But Neil and
Yeah, I also look.
go for it. Go ahead.
Oh, I said I also look up a lot of movie review for this movie, and then a lot of people just like give really high comment, like just said it's a really a good movie, and then I don't really get it. And then I was thinking about it might because I haven't experienced too much of like in life, so that I don't get it. But I'm not sure.
Could just be, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't get it
I
either.
exactly.
I totally didn't get it at all, but I definitely saw like the whole like it was probably one of the like more enjoyable movies I've ever watched. Like it was like just like in the sense that there was like a lot of like really and it was pretty funny. I mean, there was like a combination of like everything, like action, comedy, all that stuff. So
Yeah. I
But
mean, it's a really well made.
Definitely.
All right. I guess we're good.
yeah.